What more are you really expecting coming out of Chicago? Hey everybody, welcome to the temple. My name is Monk Luigi and I'm so glad all of y'all have come. Now before we get into this and before I start going over this event that occurred over the weekend, if you could, if you're first time and you're new to this channel, if you could please like, share, hit that subscribe button as well as hitting that notification bell so that way you know when I'm dropping new content, new videos, going over news, science, and every other article that goes on. Now, let's go to the content. Now, as you can tell from the thumbnail, Chicago had some very, very lows occur over this weekend. I'm just going to switch right over so that way y'all can see what happened as well as I'll give my final thoughts over all of this stuff that has occurred. So we're going to do a transition and here we are. So if you're not aware, Chicago did a Puerto Rican Day parade around this Saturday on the 19th. So it's wonderful, it's a beautiful thing that occurs in New York City. We had ours last week and then Chicago decided to do it for this weekend. If you're not aware, also this weekend was Juneteenth as well as Father's Day celebration. So it seems like you would think that there'll be a lot of positive news and rave going on for the weekend of Chicago. Sadly, that is not the case. Apparently on Twitter, something started trending from the Daily Caller as well as other links where apparently a father was dragged from his car and gunned down in the middle of Chicago in the streets during Puerto Rican parade. Okay, now before anybody goes and take it to the deep end where they're like, what? Black on Hispanic crime, put a pin on that. I'm going to address that in my final thoughts. But we're going to also get into a little bit of the details of why people started really trending this going into this next tab here. So as you can see here, I will scroll in. I thought I had this zoomed in a little bit. It says from the Daily Caller, father allegedly dragged from his car, gunned down in the middle of Chicago streets during Puerto Rican parade. 24-year-old father was shot and killed while a woman was severely injured Saturday night in the middle of the street while crowds celebrated Puerto Rican People's Day, according to local reports. The incident unfolded around 9 p.m. in an intersection of Division Street and Kadazi Avenue, CBS 2 Chicago reported. An unidentified individual live streamed the incident on Facebook. According to CB2 Chicago, the video appears to show Giovanni Azaga and his unidentified female passenger getting dragged out of a car by a group of individuals. The duo is seen lying on the ground near the driver's side door before the group that dragged them out of the car scatters and the man walks up to the pair and shoots them at point blank range. Right? There is a YouTube video. I am not going to play this video at all because I don't want YouTube striking it down, but all of these links will be in the description box below. Now what prompted this theme is due to the fact that the Chicago Mayor Lightfoot, made a declaration during this weekend as well. The Chicago Mayor declares racism is a public health crisis. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot and the City Chicago Department of Public Health declared racism a public health crisis on Thursday, pointing out systematic racism as a primary factor in the city's life expectancy discrepancy. I'm going to stop right there. You can read it further going into it. Sadly, it got coupled, so that happened Thursday when she made that declaration, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, events occurred, and then this article came out, and then they went in on what Mayor Lightfoot's declaration, and then also this event happening on Sunday. And they went in at the Democrats. Okay, I get it. A lot of people on the right side aren't liking the left, so they're trying to use this narrative. Okay, pin on that one too as I give my thoughts. So also over the weekend, sadly, 54 people got shot, 5 got fatally wounded, and this was also across the city. So Sunday, someone from Puerto Rico, they got shot in cold blood, and then over the weekend, 54 more people got shot and fatally wounded across the weekend across the city. So from Thursday's declaration, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there were numerous shootings going on in Chicago. All right. There was one article in particular that showed bullet points of where these hits happened. And it's this one right here. I'm scrolling through it. Probably zoom in a little bit more so that way I can see exactly what it is. But they bullet pointed in this article where these events occurred and what day. As you can see, Friday, this is where it happened. Saturday, this is where it happened. Sunday, this is where it happened. All right. I'm not giving my thoughts yet. I just want y'all to be aware. These are certain events that occurred, as well as some talking points that you can see coming from certain YouTubers to push the narrative of, hey, democratic cities, democratic societies is an issue, and they're not doing too much for POCs as well as Hispanics or Black people in general in Chicago. So push it forward as this narrative of, oh, well, the mayor declares racism as a public health crisis. All of these things are occurring as a violence. Now, I guess I'm going to give a little bit of my thoughts to this. I don't think the Mayor Lightfoot, when it comes to Chicago, there's a lot of problems that this city is facing, and I had to dwell on it, right? Something that got brought to my attention, and this came from an associate. They said that you have to tread carefully because so far the Black community's always heard of how people are continuously hurt. And the first thing that came to my mind was wounds. I work in medicine, and in medicine, certain types of wounds can be treated all the time. But sometimes we forget that there are some wounds in medicine that just can't be treated. These types of wounds can be like gangrenous wounds. These wounds are so deep and so infected that at times the only solution is to amputate. Now, I'm not from Chicago. I'm not a Chicago native. I only have like a few friends that I knew that were from Chicago, and I only follow some rappers that are from Chicago. However, it seems like this wound in Chicago is not going to be so easily mended and healed. And you saw a little bit of it when I flashed to it. Don't get it wrong, there's a lot of bad in Chicago, like a lot of bad in Chicago. But there are some good things too, which is why I'm doing this video. And I wanted to show that there's some good stuff that are occurring in Chicago. So before I go deeper into my thought, I want to show this. All right, Chicago becomes the first city to give Black residents reparations. That's a beautiful thing. So as you can see from this article here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I thought I zoomed in before. But you can see Chicago did become one of the first cities to try to give a form of reparations to the Black natives. This was March 11, 2021, when this article was written. As you can see, suburb of Chicago setting precedents for racial equality as it moves forward and becoming the first city in the country to fund reparations for its Black residents. But some residents say it doesn't go far enough. Now, I think in this article also shows, yes, it does right here. Since then, Evanston officials have been putting together a plan to disperse the money, eventually deciding that the first $400,000 will be dedicated to address housing needs. All right? So, using the community donations and revenues from a 3% tax collected on the sales of recreational cannabis, the city adopted a reparations fund and pledged to distribute $10 million over 10 years. So, this is a beautiful thing coming into Chicago. And I believe I think it shows the individuals responsible for this. It was Evanston Alderman Robin Ruth Simmons, who proposed a reparations fund for the city council, and it got approved in November of 2019. All right? Under the program, in the first phase, qualifying residents would get $25,000 to use towards home ownership, home improvement, mortgage assistance. So this is a beautiful thing. One of the best things that I've seen so far. A lot of the good, sadly, gets overshadowed by all of the shootings and police violence that's going on in the city, right? There's also another thing that I was able to find. I had to dig through the shadows to find it, so I want y'all to see these things. Ways to support the community in Chicago right now, currently, in 2021. And I want to show y'all this, and again, all of these links will be in the description box. And I'm going to separate the good stuff, the bad stuff, and the website where you can see the shootings and stuff, so you can see it for yourself. And they have many local nonprofits and community efforts, so hopefully you can utilize some of this stuff. They even have business incentives, like nonprofits is attempting to raise $50,000 via their GoFundMe initiative, Black Business Votes Chicago. In light of COVID-19 pandemic and civil unrest as a result of murders of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, is more important than ever to unite and agree to rebuild Black-owned businesses. So you can see there are many organizations that are going through here, like MASS, Mothers/Men Against Senseless Killings. You can see that there's multiple ways to get involved in helping Chicago. So I'm trying to structure this, not trying to get upset, because when you look at these articles here, where you see this happening, and now we're getting to the pin of this thing. You see the videos of stuff like this, your initial reaction is, why is it that Black people are attacking Hispanics? And this seems to be a narrative. Now, if you watch a few of the people that I've seen, they go to, why aren't the Democrats doing what they're supposed to do to help their cities? And why aren't the Republicans voting in interests for the city? Sadly, in my opinion, with the wound analogy that I use, with these types of killings and stuff like that, I think that when it comes to the mayors and whoever's running the city, we need better mayors, we need better governors, we need better police chiefs, and we need better councilmen like Miss what's her name? I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to her. Miss Simmons. Like Miss Simmons. We need more of these people on councils that are trying to push more positive stuff into the communities. Okay? This is the stuff that we need. Sadly, that's not the case. And in my opinion, after looking at the video, I've come to the conclusion that this wasn't a Black on Hispanic thing. This wasn't a Democrat failure of any type or form. In my opinion, this was more towards this, the sayings. I'm not saying the word. I don't want to, demonetize my video. But it was more towards the sayings of things. Now, as I went through this article, the second biggest ones in here is that group right here. Y'all know where they are. Okay, I'm not saying the word. You can see it for yourself. And if you can't, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So that way you can see it. So when I watched that video, it seemed like a targeted attack. I'll say it in that form, shape, or way. Again, I'm not trying to get demonetized. So, and as you can see, number 2, right there, number 2, right here. So, number 2. So, I think that this is the biggest issue for the city. And it's a very hard thing to do, because if you look at the map, right, I'm going to zoom out a little bit on this. If you look at the map, in the area of presence, they're scattered throughout a lot of the neighborhoods in Chicago. Like, they're everywhere. Like, they are everywhere, man. They are everywhere. And look at this map grid here. Like, and this is just what's known. Okay? So, I say that to say this. To fix Chicago, there's a passive thought and an active thought. The passive thought is of course getting new council members, getting rid of Mayor Lightfoot, because Mayor Lightfoot isn't doing what she's supposed to do, as well as getting better police chiefs, better internal affairs people, getting better police officers to help this community heal and become stronger. However, a harsher and more direct action that really resonates in me currently, is using military force. And I know that's harsh. Y'all like, what? Military force? Oh my God. Again, there's over 59 sayings in Chicago. There's some things in Chicago, and there's over 59 of them. And sadly, to get the city back to its American roots to a degree, the positive, not the negative, but to a positive, you might have to use a surgical recourse. Not saying blow up stuff, but military might be the only course of action into fixing the city. I'm not only talking about the National Guard. I'm talking about sending the Marines. I said it. All right? You can quote me on it now. Sending the Marines. Because you have a lot of good going into Chicago. A lot of good in Chicago. And sadly, there's an overcast of shadows. Like, you have these little speckles of stars trying to shine through the universe. And sadly, there's not enough stars to light it up. So you can't see all of the good things that are coming from Chicago. So, again, a lot of people wouldn't caught this narrative, because as you watch certain people creating content on YouTube, they'll go ahead and they'll spin it to, oh, you know, it's just the Dems. Oh, it's the Republicans. Oh, it's just this in particular. Oh, it's just, you know, it's just black on Hispanic crimes. No, forget that. That's not what it is. It's some sayings. All right? And if the city really wants to heal, you're going to have to use military might. That's just my opinion on it. But or a third passive option, and this just came to me. Third passive option, all of the lights, all of the people with positive notions in Chicago should move out. Leave Chicago. Go somewhere else. Leave only just the darkness and the shadows there. They fought for it. There's like 59 of them things there. Let them stay there while all of the people who are trying to do good leave. Completely vacate and void that space. Make that District 13. I'll probably put a picture if y'all don't know what that movie is coming from. Leave that as District 13. Very good movie, I gotta say. Leave it as District 13. Sadly, these are the only three ways that I can see fixing Chicago. But hey, maybe I'm off base. Maybe I'm hitting this one and it's coming to a short stop. Or maybe, just maybe, I'm knocking this one out of the park. Either way, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let me know, hey, in the comment section, I might be wrong. Maybe this is just a black on Hispanic thing, or maybe this is just a Democrat versus Republican thing. Or maybe, just maybe, the root cause is damaging and scarring this city so badly that you're going to have to take some type of an extreme to salvage the body of the system. Either way, my name is Monk Luigi, And this L is for you.